I can close the window?
Yeah, just give it to one more minute and close the window.
Okay, okay. Just give me a second.
Yeah, but it's already live, though, Mataji.
So can I close the window?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Just give me a second. Can I start it, Prabhu, then?
Yes, yes, it's live on YouTube.
I can start, right?
Yes, yes, you can. Thank
Okay.
you, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your service. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Please welcome everyone. Today is a Srimad Bhagavatam class from ISKCON Portland. This is Radha Kunda Dasi. We start our lecture, discussion with the Mangalashan prayers initially, offering prayers to our previous acharyas and our Guru Parampara. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दास्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानो सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So dear devotees, I'm going to share my screen, today's verse. Just give me a second. So today's verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter 14, verse 13. So I'm going to read the verse now. Shashta kurvanti mam savyam dakshinam pasavo pare. Just give me a second, devotees. Dakshinam pasavo pare vahamscha purusha vyagra lakshaye rudato mama shashta kurvanti mam savyam dakshinam pasavo pare vadamscha purusha vyagra lakshaye rudato mama shastah kurvanti mam savyam dakshinam pasavo pare वाहांश्च पुरुष व्याघ्रा लक्षये रुदतो mama. Anyone wants to read the verse?
I can read, Mataji.
Sure, Prabhu.
यस्तः कुर्वन्ति मां स्वयं दक्षिणं पशवो परे वाहंश्च पुरुषव्याघ्र लक्षये रुजतो मम. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Anyone
I can
else
read
want?
Mataji.
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Shastava kurarvanti mam shayam savyam dakshinam parshava ahamscha purusha vyagra dakshaye rudata mama. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So, anyone else want to read? Okay, so I'll go to the synonyms now. Shasta, useful animals like the cow, kurbanti are keeping, mam, may, savyam on the left, dakshinam, circumambulating, pasavaha apare, other lower animals like asses, vaha and the horses, carriers, cha also, purusha vyagra, O tiger among men, lakshye I see, rudataha weeping, mama of mine. Translation by His Divine Grace C.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Bhimasena, tiger amongst men, now useful animals like cows are passing me on my left side, and lower animals like the asses are circumambulating me. My horses appear to weep upon seeing me. So we all must be knowing the context here. What was happening? The Dhritarashtra and Gandhari left home, and while Yudhishthira Maharaj was lamenting that his uncle left home, then Narada Muni appears. Then Narada Muni pacifies the lamenting Pandavas, and also he has given some instructions. And among those instructions, there was also one hint that Krishna is going to leave this earthly planet very soon. And he also instructed them to mentally prepare to leave this planet. So once Arjuna knows about this, he wanted to see Krishna. So he went to Dwaraka with the permission of his elder brother, Yudhishthira Maharaj. So 1 month passed, 2 months passed, 3 months passed, but Arjuna was not coming back. And moreover, Yudhishthira Maharaj started seeing bad omens. So he started suspecting something that, oh, Krishna must have left this planet or something like that. So he was feeling very bad. So we are in that context. And this chapter named itself the disappearance of Lord Krishna, even though the actual disappearance was explained in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So when I saw this verse, I was thinking there is no purport. So maybe I was thinking, okay, I can take next to 1 or 2 more verses so that I can have purport. But I noticed that nearly next more than 12, 13 verses there is no purport. So all the bad omens, what were all happening at that time were explained. So I thought, okay, let me stick to this verse only. So we will discuss today the regarding omens, because this actually verse is speaking about the bad omens. So we will discuss from Srimad Bhagavatam. There were some situations where these bad omens were, shown or expressed. There are so many instances. So we are going to actually discuss. There are also, as last week Paramakarana Prabhu was explaining, there are omens are of two kinds: bad and good omens. So we will see some examples from Srimad Bhagavatam, how it happened, and what kind of omens actually devotees or people can actually observe and see. And also, last Monday was the disappearance of one of our prominent Acharya, Lochan Das Thakur. So we are going to discuss a little bit about Lochan Das Thakur Mahashaya also today. Because he has written so many bhajans also, we are going to sing some little two bhajans from what he has composed. So let us first discuss this verse. So here, Yudhishthira Maharaj is speaking to his younger brother Bhimasena. Oh Bhimasena, tiger amongst men. He actually referred him, he was calling him tiger amongst men. Why he was calling him tiger amongst men? Because When in the very next chapter, the chapter 15, what happens is at the end of this chapter, Arjuna comes back, and when Yudhishthira Maharaj was asking him all the questions like, how everyone are doing in Dwaraka, are they are doing good, and so many questions he asked to Arjuna, and Arjuna started with so much of lamentation within his heart. He actually started glorifying Lord Krishna. Among his glorification, one of the verses from the next chapter, ninth verse, he says to his younger brother, he speaks to Yudhishthira Maharaj like this: "Your respectable younger brother," that means Yudhishthira Bhimsen, "who possesses the strength of 10,000 elephants." So that is what actually he is, addressed, in this particular today's verse. So Bhimsen is so stronger that he possesses the strength of 10,000 elephants. So, and Arjuna was saying that he killed Jarasandha by the mercy of Krishna. Hmm? And he also released all the kings, who were brought for the sacrifice by Jarasandha for the pleasure of Mahabhairava Yajna. The story behind this is that Jarasandha was a very powerful king of Magadha, and he's a son of King Bruhadruta. So Bruhadruta has two wives. Those are daughters of King Kashi. So they were actually not having children. So Bruhadruta felt very, very upset in his life, and see, he took his two queens and he left to forest for performing some austerities. So when he was doing those austerities, fortunately he had met with some rishi who was showing compassion on Brihadrita, and he has given one mango to give it to his wives, and that mango was shared between the wives. They have cut the mango and they had eaten that. So because of that, they actually they became pregnant, and they have given birth. They had given birth to half parts of the body. So this was actually they have given birth to two parts of the body in a different different bodies. So that those two parts actually, one child in two parts. So the two parts were thrown into the forest. So when they were thrown into the forest, one she demon actually named Zara had seen that two parts, and she actually tried to put the two parts together. She combined both the parts. Then actually the life has come into this body, and he has become a person. Then, out of compassion for the king of Magadha, Bruhadruta, that she demon had given, this child, because he was childless. Out of compassion, she had given that child to this Bruhadruta. So Bruhadruta was so happy to have that child, and she wanted her to take some benedictions from him. And she said, "I don't want any benediction from you, but can you please name your children after my name?" Then he has given a name of Jarasandha. Jara means that the demon, Jarasandha, and Sandha means one who was joined by Zara. So Jarasandha means one who was joined by Zara. So like this, actually, that Jarasandha was born, and this Jarasandha possessed demonic qualities right from his birth. But just like how Ravana has become the devotee of Lord Shiva, this Jarasandha also had become the devotee of Lord Shiva. So he was actually worshipping Lord Mahabhairava, Lord Shiva, and he was very puffed up. And he was actually winning over all the kings, and he is bringing all those kings, and he is using them for sacrifice to Mahabhairava. So that means he is killing all the kings, as a sacrifice to Mahabhairava. So finally, what happens with the permission of Krishna? Basically, this demon Jarasandha was killed by Bhimsena. So that is why Bhimsena, when we speak in the present verse, this Yudhishthira Maharaj was addressing Bhimsena as tiger amongst men. Okay, because he had the strength of 1,000 elephants. Then if we see what are the actually bad omens in this particular verse, like useful animals like cows are passing me on my left side. So there are so many other instances also in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is mentioned if the cows are passing left side, that is a bad woman. And also, and lower animals like the asses are circumambulating me. So asses are see, ass itself is an inauspicious species, right? Inauspicious thing. So when it is circumambulating the king, like Yudhishthira Maharaj, definitely it is considered as an inauspicious woman. And also his horses appear to weep upon seeing me. Usually horses never cry, but they are also expecting something bad. So that is why horses are weeping by seeing Yudhishthira Maharaj. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is really feeling sad for this. And when we see not only when the Lord disappears from this planet, these bad omens appear, but the devotees of the Lord also, leaves, not to the earth, not the earthly planet, but if they leave that particular city or village where they were living, the bad omens are seen. Like if we see in case of Akrura, Shamantaka jewel, pastime from Srimad Bhagavatam, Satrajit was killed by Shatadvana, right? But the plot was made by Akrura and Krutavarma. Akrura is a wonderful, wonderful devotee of Lord Sri Krishna, and because he had plotted something against Satrajit along with Krutavarma, they actually gave that work to Shatadvana to commit this crime, and he had committed that crime, and Lord Krishna came to know about that, and he was blamed for that. I mean, by Satyabhama also, but Lord Krishna finally he came to know that Satadvana killed, and Lord Krishna, out of so much of anger, he went and Satadvana actually before when he knows that Lord Krishna had come to know about this, he immediately handed over that Shamantaka jewel to Akrura. And he just he was running, but Lord Krishna somehow killed him. And when actually Akrura and Krutavarma got to know about this, that Lord Krishna was so much, he was angry, so much angry. Then what did they do? They fled Dwaraka in terror and took up residence elsewhere. So this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 57 verse. 10th canto, it is explained, 57th chapter, it is explained very nicely. It's very interesting, basically. In the Akrura's absence, ill omens arose in Dwaraka, and the citizens began to suffer continually from physical and mental diseases, as well as from disturbances caused by higher powers and by creatures of the earth. So these are the disturbances caused by supernatural beings. These disturbances often manifest as natural calamities like earthquakes, tidal waves, or extreme weather sometimes. Now also in US it is happening, right? LA, Los Angeles fires, we can see. It's so pitiable, right? I mean, people are really suffering, So, one thing, very interesting thing is such that according to Srila Sridhar Swami, Akrura took the Shamantaka jewel and went to reside in the city of Benares. So he left from Dwaraka and he started residing in Benares. Since he had that Shamantaka jewel, he started distributing, gold to each and everyone, and he has become famous with the name Dhanapati, the master of charity. He executed all the sacrifices on the golden altars also. I mean, he has so much of gold because the Shamantaka jewel gives so much of gold every day. So he was doing sacrifices on the altar, golden altars. Some residents of Dwaraka felt that these unusual calamities, what are the calamities? They suffer continually from physical and mental diseases. A lot of disturbances caused by higher powers like earthquakes and rains, tidal waves, and etc. So he was actually, they were thinking all these were happening because of the absence of Akrura. They have forgotten that the Supreme Lord's personal presence in Dwaraka precluded that possibility, because when Supreme Lord is there, what can actually happen, right? When Supreme Lord himself is staying over there, but they had forgotten everything about the Supreme Lord. Because why they had forgotten? Because Supreme Lord comes to perform his pastimes on the earth in the human form, right? Like, So Srila Prabhupada is explaining the purport that familiarity breeds contempt, right? So so many people, all the people, they had forgotten about, they forgotten that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord himself is actually residing in Dwaraka. So they had forgotten that, and some men proposed because they were thinking that the troubles were due to Akrura's absence, and they had forgotten the glories of the Supreme Lord, which they themselves had so often described. So they know, but they had somehow forgotten. Indeed, how can calamities occur in a place where the personality of Godhead, the residence of all the sages, resides, right? And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti is giving a very interesting reason for this, basically. It is all happening because of Krishna's will only. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti provides the following insight on the verse. What is that? In Benares, Akrura became famous for performing sacrifices on golden altars and for his abundant charity to the Brahmanas. When the citizens of Dwaraka heard about this, some of them gossiped that Krishna, considering Akrura a rival, had sent him into exile. So they were thinking that Krishna himself has sent Akrura in exile. So again, they were actually blaming Krishna. So to dispel this new and incredible stain on his reputation, always Krishna does that, because when Satrajit was also killed, Krishna was blamed for that, right? Again, here actually people were thinking that out of their ignorance, Akrura actually left out of fear from Krishna, but they were thinking that Krishna, it's all because of Krishna it's happening. Krishna had sent him to exile. So, in order to, regain his reputation, Lord Krishna created various calamities in Dwaraka. So, these are bad omens and calamities were created by Lord Krishna, thus inducing the citizens to call for Akrura's return, which the Lord then ordered. So Krishna wanted Akrura to come back to again to Dwaraka, because people were thinking like that. So whatever happens, happens with the mercy of the Lord, that we have to understand. And then another actually story is like a Kaliya pastime, right? When Krishna, where we can see this bad omens, right? People were actually getting frightening for these bad omens, So in the Kaliya pastime, basically, what happened is when Krishna was enveloped in the snake's coils, motionless and without any movements and all this, they were the people in Vrindavan, they were greatly disturbed. Because they love Krishna so much, they were actually, what happened? The cows, bulls, and female calves in great distress called out piteously to Krishna, fixing their eyes on him. They stood in fear, as if ready to cry, but too shocked to shed tears. And then in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 16th chapter, it is mentioned that in the Vrindavana area, there then arose all three types of fearful omens. So omens are of three types, and these three types of fearful omens also, came up. Those on the earth, those in the sky, and those in the bodies of living creatures, which announced imminent danger. So in the purport, Sridhara Swami is explaining that on the earth there were disturbing tremors. In the sky there were meteors falling. You can see, right? Sometimes, something will fall down from the sky, actually, meteors. It is in a very inauspicious sign, basically. So earth were, disturbing tremors on the earth, like, earthquakes, some kampa, is shivering comes in the earth. And also in the bodies of living creatures, something will happen. So, and the bodies of creatures, there was a shivering in the bodies of creatures also. So these are three. What are those? The earth will tremor, and also the meteors falling from the sky, and also the bodies of creatures were shivering, as well as the quivering of the left eye on the parts of the body. This is there now. Now at present also, many people will think that, especially men, if their left eye quiver, they think, they expect some, bad omen in their life, or expect something bad. So these women announce imminent danger every time. So they felt this, and seeing these inauspicious women, Nanda Maharaja and other covered men were fearful. They actually concluded that, they had concluded that these inauspicious moments indicated that Krishna had met with death. And they were overwhelmed with grief, lamentation, and fear. All the inhabitants of Vrindavan, including the children, women, elderly person, thought of Krishna just as a cow thinks of her helpless young calf. And thus these poor suffering people rushed out of the village, intent upon finding him. So finally, but what happens later? when these people are worrying, seeing the bad omens, Balaram enters into the picture in the story, right? So Balaram knows everything, no? So he perfectly, very well know that, Krishna, nothing is going to happen to Krishna, and Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So this is another example from Srimad Bhagavatam, how, the bad omens were visible to the eyes of the people in Vrindavan. And not only when the Lord disappears from this earthly planet, or when the devotees leave the place, or when Krishna is put into difficulty, these bad women's are appears, but also when demons actually takes birth in this material world, also the bad women are clearly visible. If we could see the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 17th chapter, the birth of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, before the birth of Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, there were so many bad women, right? There were natural disturbances. All are very fearful and also wonderful in the heavenly planets, earthly planets, and in between them also. In between, there were some planets in between them also. And there were earthquakes along with the mountains on the earth, and it appeared that there was fire everywhere. Inauspicious planets like Saturn appeared. Saturn is considered as inauspicious, and it has appeared along with the comets, meteors, and thunderbolts. This is the natural disturbances. The wind blew, most in a most uninviting way. I mean, lot of very fast winds, hissing again and again and uprooting gigantic trees. They had storms for their armies and clouds of dust for their enemies. The luminaries in the heavens were screened by masses of clouds, in which lightning sometimes flashed as though laughing. Darkness reigned everywhere, and nothing could be seen. The ocean with its high waves wailed aloud, as if stricken with sorrow, and there was a commotion among the creatures inhabiting the ocean. The rivers and lakes were also agitated, and lotuses withered. Misty halos appeared around the sun and moon during the solar and lunar eclipses again and again, again and again. Claps of thunder were heard even without clouds, and sounds like those of rattling chariots emerged from the mountain caves. In the interior of the villages, she-jackals yelled potentiously and vomiting strong fire. So this was actually mentioned also in our present chapter, just last week's verse. Paramakarana Prabhu, read that verse, and same thing, like, she-jackals yelled and vomited, strong fires from their mouths, and jackals and owls also joined them with their cries. So all the animals are crying, crying loudly. Raising their necks, dogs cried here and there, now in the manner of singing and now wailing. Dogs. The asses ran hither and thither in herds, striking the earth with their hard hooves and wildly braying. Imagine, like, asses braying, right? Very loudly. Oh my God. So frightened by the braying of the asses, birds flew, shrieking from their nests. While cattle in the cowsheds as well in the woods passed dung and urine, they were scared and they were passing stool and, dung and urine, of course, Cows terrified yielded blood in place of milk. Clouds rained pus. The images of the gods in the temple shed tears, and trees fell down without a blast of wind. Omniscious planets such as Mars and Saturn shone brighter and surpassed the auspicious ones such as Mercury and Jupiter and Venus, as well as the number of lunar mansions. Taking seemingly retrograde courses, the planets came in conflict with one another. So planets are also fighting. So making these many other omens of evil times, everyone but the four sages of Brahma who were aware of the fall of Jaya and Vijaya and of their birth as Diti's sons was seized with fear. Of course, sages know that, Lord Brahma, including Lord Brahma, they know that, these are Jaya and Vijaya fallen down from the Vaikuntha planet. Everybody must be knowing the story, right? So this was happening. So this is another sign, right? So these are some of the examples, from the canto 3rd Srimad Bhagavatam. And another example is that we can see that Daksha Prajapati is there, right? So we all must be knowing the Daksha Prajapati story, right? Daksha's daughter is Sati, and Sati sacrificed her body because, you know, because she thought that her husband Lord Shiva was insulted in the sacrifice because he was not given his rightful share in the yajna sacrifice conducted by Daksha. So she's out of lot of insult, out of so much of lamentation, she sacrificed her body. She has put her body into fires, and after knowing this, basically Lord Shiva became very, very angry. Um, so he had taken one strand of hair from his head, and he had just dashed that hair to ground, and one black demon who was very ferocious, very, very, scary form has come out of that, that haze, and that demon actually started, coming to the arena of sacrifice, Daksha, where Daksha was performing his sacrifice. And while he was coming, basically, while all the people were, they could see the lot of bad omens, what are all happening, at that time, actually, they were discussing what happened. Even actually, Sati's mom, Presuna, Prasanti, what is I forgot her name. So she was also discussing, she was also understanding that this is all happening because we had insulted our daughter, very, very chaste daughter we insulted. So everyone were discussing themselves. Then Daksha saw dangerous omens falling from all sides, from the earth and from the sky. So this is another example of bad omens. The situations we are discussing, the what are all situations from Srimad Bhagavatam where these bad omens were actually explained. And not only that, Kamsa actually, this is a very wonderful thing actually. When Kamsa sent Akrura to bring Krishna to Mathura, right? So when Krishna Balaram came to Mathura, then they were actually participating in so many activities, and they also broke the, the, what is that? Just give me a second. They did so many things, and let me tell you. They have actually broken the dhanus, the bow, and also not only that, they have killed the soldiers of Kamsa. And so then, after hearing all these stories, what are all happening after Krishna and Balaram after they reached, the Mathura, then wicked Kamsa was so much terrified. Having heard how Krishna and Balarama had broken the bow, killed his guards and soldiers, just like just like a game. What was happening to him? He remained awake for a long time. He was not able to even sleep. And both while he was awake, while he was sleeping or dreaming, he saw many bad omens, messengers of death, because Krishna is going to kill Kamsa very soon, right? So when he looked at his reflection, he could not see his head. For no reason, the moon and stars appeared double. He saw a hole in his shadow. He could not hear the sound of his life air. Trees seemed covered with a golden hue, and he could not see his footprints. He dreamt that he was being embraced by ghosts. These are all really, really, surprising facts. He was seeing that he's riding a donkey and drinking poison, and also that a naked man smeared with oil was passing by wearing a garland of Nalada flowers. Seeing these and other such omens, both while dreaming and while awake, Kamsa was terrified by the prospect of death, and out of anxiety, he could not even sleep. Hmm. So later, what happens actually when he wakes up, he arranges for a resting festival, right? Mustaka and Chanura, right? So finally, Krishna, killed Kamsa. So he could actually see all these bad moments, right? So that is there, and also after there is from chapter from Canto 10, chapter 77. there is one sloka, seventh sloka, how actually Krishna started seeing before he, because the Salya, I'll tell you, invited by Yudhishthira, the son of Dharma, Lord Krishna had gone to Indraprastha. So Lord Krishna went to Indraprastha and he performed Rajasuya Yajna and he completed that. And also Shishupala has been killed. And the Lord himself has begun to see inauspicious moments. So he took leave of Kuru elders and great sages, and also Prudha and her sons. He returned to Dwaraka. So he went back to Dwaraka because in Dwaraka, what is happening is Dwaraka was attacked by Salya, and there was a Salva. Salva attacked Dwaraka with his Saubha airship. So Lord Keshava actually defeated, of course, the Salva because but when he was with Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was able to understand that something bad is going to happen because he could see the bad moments also. So these are all actually bad moments, and I want to actually discuss because as last week Paramakarna, the moments are of two types, right? Bad moments and you know and the good women's. I want to little bit discuss about good women's also, especially Akrura, how he has seen the beautiful auspicious moments when he is about to see, when he is about to have the darshan of Lord Krishna. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:38-9. Just give me a second. I'll go to Bhagavatam because I just want to read the auspicious signs before seeing Krishna, how it would be. Just give me a second. In 38th chapter. Arrival, Akrura's arrival in Vrindavan. So I'm going to the 9th verse. So here Akrura is saying, surely I shall see the face of Lord Mukunda, because he was actually throughout his travel to Vrindavan on the chariot, he was actually remembering Lord Krishna, and he's doing his glorification of Lord Krishna, and he was so happy that he's going to meet Lord Krishna. And he in the 9th verse of 38th chapter of 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is, surely I shall see the face of Lord Mukunda, since the deer are now walking past me on my right. Deer are walking past. In our present verse, what is happening? Cow is on the left side. So that was considered as an inauspicious woman. But here, deer walking right side of us is an auspicious woman. That face framed by his curly hair is beautified by his attractive cheeks and nose, his smiling glances and his reddish lotus eyes. Akrura saw an auspicious woman, the passing of the deer on his right, and thus felt sure he would see the Supreme Lord. So he's saying, I'm going to see the Supreme Lord Vishnu, the reservoir of all beauty, who by his own sweet will has now assumed a human-like form to relieve the earth of her burden. Thus, there is no denying that my eyes will achieve that perfection, the perfection of their existence. So this is a wonderful, auspicious woman that, I really like this. So I want to share this. And there are also some other, there are also some other auspicious moments I want to share, but before that, actually, I want to share a little bit about our prominent acharya, because last week was the last Monday was the disappearance day of one prominent acharya, Lochandas Thakura. So I want to discuss a little bit of Lochandas Thakura, and then if time permits, then I can go back to our present discussion of this present verse. So Lochandas Thakura is a very prominent acharya, and he's born in 1523 in Kograma in the Khatwa Burdwan district. He was born in a Radheya clan of the physician caste, Vaidya caste basically, and his father's name was Kamala Karadasa and mother's name was Sadanande. So right from his childhood, he displayed so much of devotion for Mahaprabhu. And also, Lochandas Thakura was married at a very young age because they have that kind of tradition. So, but though he had entered the married life, he was extremely renounced right from the beginning and spent all his time discussing Krishna Katha with other devotees of Gauranga. Since Lochan Das was married at a very early age, his wife at first remained with her parents. But as the time approached, when when she was about to join him, they began to worry because Lochan Das, they could observe the symptoms of Lochan Das Thakur as a Mahabhagavata. So and also he was indifferent to married life. So they approached Lochan Das Thakur's Mahashaya's Guru Maharaj Narahari Sarkara and told him about their dispute. As a result, Narahari offered Lochan Das to go to he instructed his disciple to go to his in-laws house. Then, when Lochan Das arrived in that particular village where his in-laws were living, he was unable to remember their house because it's been very long time since he had gone there. So he could see one young girl nearby. So he asked for the street directions, addressing her as a mother, because usually, devotees consider other women as their mother. So when he arrived at his in-laws' house, he came to know that the girl who he had addressed as Ma was none other than his own wife only. Then from that day onwards, actually, he always looked upon his wife as a mother. Worshipping Guru and Gauranga in an attitude of renunciation. So he was actually started worshipping Gauranga Mahaprabhu, treating his wife as a mother. So Narahari is the spiritual master of Lochan Das Thakur. Narahari Sarkar was Mahaprabhu's very, very close associate from Srikhanda. He was very affectionate to Lochan Das Thakur, and he also gave him the initiation. Lochan Das Thakur Mahashaya enthusiastically took up residence with his guru in Srikhanda, and his guru also taught him the art of kirtan. And he also ordered him to write the biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he had written that biography and named it as Chaitanya Mangala. But actually, the Vrindavan Das Thakur's Chaitanya Bhagavat was named earlier as Chaitanya Mangala, but later it was changed to Chaitanya Bhagavat. There were some proofs also, evidences are also there. I'm not going to into very detail into that, but taking the instruction of his spiritual master Narahari Sarkara, this Lochandas Thakur had actually written a very wonderful biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is now we can read as a Chaitanya Mangala. It is based on Murari Gupta's Chaitanya Charita. He took from that. The word Mangala means an auspicious, and this title reflects the fact that hearing Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya's divine pastimes is the most auspicious activity for all the living beings. Then the other, literatures of Lochan Das Thakur are Prardhana, Durlabha Sara, Dhamale, and Bengali verse translations of Ramananda's Jagannath Vallabha Nataka and the Rasa Panchadhyaya. These are the other translations of Lochan Das Thakur. And Lochan Das Thakur's Mahashaya's songs are glorified, so much glorified and appreciated by the devotees of Mahaprabhu also. And attracted many souls basically, and Lochan Das Thakur is very, very affectionate towards his Guru Maharaj Narahari Sarkar, and he used to always compose the songs glorifying his spiritual master. But one time he felt that he was not actually glorifying Lord Nityananda Mahaprabhu, so he felt bad, and he was thinking maybe Lord Nityananda might get angry, that he was not glorifying him. So he particularly written some songs, from glorifying Lord Nityananda. Among that songs, I just want to show two songs, share my screen, and we can just it's so beautiful songs. You all must be knowing these songs, but they're very, very nice songs. One is Lochan Das Thakur Mahashaya's composition of Vaishnava bhajans. So it is mentioned, the book name Chaitanya Mangala, it is mentioned, and this is I'm going to read the translation first, and then we can sing the song. The noble Lord Nityananda is never angry, for he is the personification of supreme transcendental bliss. Devoid of any concept of false ego, Nitai wanders about the town. Going from door to door in the residence of the most fallen and wretched souls, he freely distributes the gift of the Harinama Mahamantra. He exclaims to whomever he sees while holding straw between his teeth, "Please purchase me by worshipping Gaurahari." Saying this, Nityananda Prabhu rolls about on the ground, appearing like a golden mountain tumbling in the dust. Lochandas Thakura says, "Whoever has not experienced the awakening of affection for such an avatara as this, that sinful person simply comes and goes uselessly in the cycle of repeated birth and death." Jai. Lochandas Mahatma Jai. So I'm going to read. Akaroda Paramananda Nityananda Raya Abhimana Sunya Nitaya Nagare Bedaya Adhama Patita Jive Dware Dware Giya Hari Nama Maha Mantra Dichane Bilai Zare Dekhe Tare Gahe Dante Traunadhari Amare Kiniyala Balagaurahare Yeta Bali Nityananda Bhume Gadi Jaya Sonara Parvata Jena Dhulate Ludaya Hena Vatare Jara Rati Na Janmila Lochan Bole Se Papi Largela Akaroda Paramananda Nityananda Raya Abhimana Sunya Nitaya Nagare Bridaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Another bhajan which is I really like it is Parama Karuna. So I am going to read the translation. I'm very happy to actually glorify Lord Nityananda and also to remember Lochandas Thakur Mahashaya, who is a very prominent acharya in our sampradaya. So the two lords, Nitya and Gaurachandra, are very merciful. They are the essence of all incarnations. The specific significance of these incarnations is that they introduced a process of chanting and dancing that is simply joyful. My dear brother, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. One simply has to chant Hare Krishna, Hari, Hari without any motive. My dear brother, just try and examine this. Within the three worlds, there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda. Their merciful qualities are so great that upon hearing them, even birds and beasts cry and stones melt. But Lochana Dasa regrets that I am entrapped by sense gratifications. Since I have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, the Yama Raja, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this movement. So when I was reading this, actually the two purports of these two bhajans, I was remembering, I just want to share a little bit. There was a drama performed in the yatra of, in the Mayapur yatra with the Vaisheshika Maharaj. So all the youth went, and there, along with ISV youth, they had performed a drama because they were given an opportunity to do some showcase. So they have performed the Nityananda Prabhu's, the Jagai Madhe pastime. So it was so beautiful actually because the lyrics and it was like a musical drama, and it was so nice. And how Lord actually Nityananda, right? I mean, my dear brother, please just chant the holy name. Just say one time Hare Krishna, one time Hare Krishna. Lord Nityananda was begging actually. So I just remembered, and they are going to do the drama, and it is going to be released. Actually, that was liked by Maharaj very nicely, and Vaisheshika Maharaj liked that so much, and it is going to be released in Bhakti Vedanta through that channel. And when it is released, then I will share with our group and our ISKCON Portland group. Then they can also see it. It is so wonderfully, presented basically. Very nice. So we're going to sing the Parama Karuna पहुदुई जाना निताय गौराचंद्रा सबयावतारा सरसिरोमणि केवलानंद कंदा आ भजो भजो भाई चैतन्य निताय सुदृढ़ विश्वास कोरी विषया छड़िया सिर से मजिया मुखे बोलो हरि हरि देखो रे बाय त्रिभुवने नाय मुनोदयालो दाता पशु पाखी झोरे फसना विदारे सुनि जन गुणगाता संसारे मजिया रोहिली पोरिया से पदे नहीं लो आशा अपना कारामा भुंजये समाना कहे लोचना दासा परमा करुणा पहुदुई जना निताय गौराचंद्रा सबयावतारा सरसिरोमणि केवलानंद कंदा. So, dear devotees, before ending, our, our discussion today, Bhagavad Gita. So I just want to, because we are in the chapter of disappearance of Lord Krishna, which actually gives a little bit of pain in the heart. I just want to, read a little bit the auspicious moments. How would be the auspicious moments, especially when Lord Krishna takes birth? This is a very, very, I'm just looking now. Yeah. So when there was an appearance of Lord Krishna, the auspicious moments, I just read this and we can actually end the discussion. The auspicious time for the appearance of the Lord, the entire universe was surcharged with all the qualities of goodness, beauty, and peace. The constellation Rohini appeared, as did stars like Ashwini. The sun, the moon, and the other stars and planets were very peaceful. Or, on the contrary to the inauspicious moments, all the planets are very peaceful. All directions appeared extremely pleasing, and the beautiful stars twinkled in the cloudless sky. Yesterday, after our Bhakti Vriksha, we went outside because there was something special yesterday that all the stars came in a line. Mars especially, it was really visible beautifully. Yesterday, we went out after 10 o'clock or 10:30 in the night. We have all seen and all the stars looking very beautiful. So there was actually there is an app which we can actually download on our phones, and through that, if we could see, it is very clearly visible all the stars differently. They were visible differently than the normal, the way they appear. So and the beautiful stars twinkled in the cloudless sky, decorated with towns, villages, mines, and pasturing grounds. The earth seemed all auspicious. The rivers flowed with clear water, and the lakes and vast reservoirs, full of lilies and lotuses, were extraordinarily beautiful. In the trees and green plants, full of flowers and leaves, pleasing to the eyes, birds like cuckoos and swarms of bees began chanting with sweet voices for the sake of demigods. A pure breeze began to blow, pleasing the sense of touch and bearing the aroma of flowers. And when the Brahmanas engaging in ritualistic ceremonies ignited their fires according to Vedic principles, the fires burned steadily, undisturbed by the breeze. Thus, when the birthless Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was about to appear, the saints and Brahmanas, who had always been disturbed by the demons like Kamsa and his men, felt peace within the core of their hearts, and kettle drums simultaneously vibrated from the upper planetary system. The Kinnaras and Gandharvas began to sing auspicious songs. The Siddhas and Charanas offered auspicious prayers, and the Vidyadharis along with the Apsaras, began to dance in jubilation. The demigods and saintly persons showed flowers in a joyous mood, and the clouds gathered in the sky and very mightily thundered, making sounds like those of the ocean's waves. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, who is situated in the core of everyone's heart, appeared from the heart of Devaki in the dense darkness of night, like the full moon rising on the eastern horizon, because Devaki was of the same category as Sri Krishna. Jai. Lochan Das Thakur Mahashay ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much. Sorry, actually, if I had done any mistakes in my, presentation today. I didn't have much time to prepare, so whatever the time, I could somehow, please forgive me if there are any mistakes. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you for going over the inauspicious and some auspicious omens and sharing the pastimes of Lochandas Thakur and his mood and your beautiful singing of his bhajan. That was very, very nice to glorify Acharya by understanding his instruction. Devotees, please share questions, comments, appreciation. Thank you.
Thank you for the nice Krishna Katha, Mataji. Really appreciate very much. All the bad omens, good omens, very nicely you described the Kaliya Leela, nicely, blended it with Krishna Katha and also the pastimes of Srila Lochan Das Thakur. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
I just followed you, Prabhuji, from the last week. Thank you so much for all your encouragement words, but I just followed you.
Yeah, last week was a lot of Acharya's disappearance day.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you very much for Krishna Katha. Little bit I heard. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay. Yes. Somebody is speaking?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam. Very beautiful class, Mataji. You covered both the auspicious and inauspicious signs and, from various parts of Bhagavatam. Very beautiful. And you ended with auspicious signs when Krishna appeared. So wonderful class. And along with that, glorification of Lochan Das Thakur. You explored many pastimes. So wonderful class, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the encouraging words. I am grateful to all the Vaishnavas. Even though I don't have any qualification, you are so patient that you actually joined here and tolerating me. So I am actually grateful to all the Vaishnavas. Even though I don't have any qualification, Jai Prabhu kindly has given this service opportunity. Actually, I don't have any qualifications to speak like this. I don't have any purity in my heart, but still I am giving this opportunity. So I'm thankful to temple authorities for allowing me to do this seva. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I just wanted to, as all the devotees mentioned, it was very nice. And when to top it all, you sang two beautiful bhajans very beautifully. Really relished it very much. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for your encouraging words. So, dear devotees, actually, Narottam Vilas Prabhu is a little bit away, so I need to end the call. He had made me as a host. So, with the permission of Jai Sachidananda Prabhu, if he wants me to end the call, I can do that.
It's not that I want you to end the call, but we can go ahead and finish it. Are there any other comments or questions?
Yeah, Mataji, you sang very well. Your tone is very nice to hear morning. It is very nice to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Okay, so I guess we can end, Radha Kunda Mataji, if you're okay with it. Thank you for preparing and meditating on the Bhagavatam. That's wonderful. Take care. Hope you and Prabhuji are doing well. Hope to see you at some point in the near future. Hare Krishna. Take care. Bye bye.
Hare Krishna.